Yeah.
it's going to be a spin-off of the show, so it's going to be so that's great. I'm pleased about that.
Yeah, that looks like
Yeah.
could be really promising. Joining us today is Amir Korangi, best known for his roles in Superstore on NBC, Night at the Museum, and Scorpion. He has also made appearances in NCIS, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Batman, and Grey's Anatomy. Amir, welcome to the Joe and Brody Show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, so we were chatting a little bit before we started the interview about how last season of last season of Superstore, and sixth season, you play a role on that. Can you just talk a little bit about your experience with Superstore and how it's changed your...
Sure. Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, it was an unexpected show to get in a way. I don't know how familiar you guys are with like how it works with auditions and, actors and stuff. But, you go to a lot of auditions and you've got callback and, several stages sometimes before you get the job. This was one of those situations. I was teaching. I used to teach at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts here in Los Angeles. And in between my classes, I had this audition. Between my classes, I went to the audition and then went back, and no callback or anything. The next day I was told I got it. I got the job, and it was a possible recurring. So I didn't know how many episodes I'll be doing. It just said it's possibly recurring.
So it was just like from time to time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it could have been much less. But what I was pleased about is that when I went on set that first day, they seemed to be pleased with that. I only had a couple of lines. They laughed. They seemed to be pleased with it. And I kind of knew when I was told to a certain extent that, they were really happy with it, which means that then I kept getting booked for the next episode. Yeah. I've done 42 episodes now. And it's been a joy. It's been real fun. And I'm really glad that people seem to have liked the character. Saeed's character seems to have resonated with people. So that's great.
And your character has just, I feel like it's definitely become more than just a reoccurring character, because it's added to the plot. I think there was an episode earlier, like in the early seasons, where, I think we lost your video.
Sorry.
There we go. Yep.
Sorry, that was just my manager calling. It just came on, but
okay. Yeah.
Right.
There was an episode in the first few seasons, I think, where the plot was about how Saeed was undocumented. And
oh yes. Well, it turned out that he wasn't undocumented.
Yeah, but people thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a refugee, and Mateo was undocumented. Yeah, that's right. Yes, that was a more extensive episode. That's right. Yeah, there were a few episodes where they featured Saeed a little bit more. That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
became more of just.
And those were great to do. Those were, they're always fun to do. I also like any episode that has a little bit more physical stuff in it, like the fight with Justine. I love that episode.
Yeah.
Well, it's so much fun to do it. You guys get to see only a few edited clips of it, but we get to fight a lot more just so they can get it.
Yeah. It looks like a really fun set to work on. Yeah,
it does.
It really is. It really is, and because I mean, it is like a store in there. A lot of the products are real. A lot of it is real. So. Yeah. It feels right when you're shooting in that soundstage, It feels the real McCoy, yeah.
And we talked to Johnny Pemberton a few months ago, who plays Bo on Superstore.
He's so funny.
He's funny.
Johnny's a great improviser. Oh, he's funny and he's great at improvising. I mean, he's great.
Yeah,
we're actually talking to him next weekend too.
Yeah, we're talking to him next weekend. Possibly talking to Nicole. I forget her last name, but she plays Cheyenne.
Yeah.
And she might be on the interview with him too. But
yeah, Nicole Correct. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Johnny and Nicole are gonna have a spin-off, as you know.
That's what
yeah.
we were hoping to talk to him about. I don't know how much information
They're
you're
gonna
letting
have
us
their
know.
own show apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a spin-off of the show, so it's going to be so that's great. I'm pleased about that.
Yeah, that looks like
Yeah.
could be really promising.
Great.
But
Oh, they're very talented young people. Yeah, they're very talented. Yeah, so that
you're kind of in the same role as, or kind of in the same position as Johnny is, where you're just asked back for certain episodes. So
yeah.
you're in a unique like acting position where the show doesn't really depend on you, but you still have an important role, and you just go to get in and do your thing. And I think that sounds like a really fun job. Like,
well, I have to say it has been a fun job, because for a while it was allowing me to sort of teach and do that as well, because it wasn't so demanding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't have to carry the show.
yeah.
Obviously.
What's your teaching job?
Sorry, go ahead. Oh, I used to teach at American Academy of Dramatic Arts, teaching acting, basically theater. Yeah, my background is mainly in theater, so I did years and years of theater in UK before coming to States about 10 years ago.
You want to talk about that a little more?
Yeah, I taught for like over sort of 35 years. I've been teaching acting for over 35 years, directing as well, directing theater and teaching acting, yeah. On a BA level and a master's degree level. I was running a BA program and a master's program in UK.
Wow.
And the head of the school, well, the president of the school was Dame Judi Dench, you know, from, if you know Judi Dench, M from 007, you know, James Bond.
Yeah.
She used to be M.
Oh, really?
She used to be the president of the school. Yeah, yeah, double Oscar winner. So that was a great place to work, and I'm still in touch with a lot of the students from like years ago. So that's fun. And now the show has just gone into the show has just gone to UK on Netflix. They're showing it at Netflix UK. So I'm getting a lot of people writing to
From
me
back
saying,
home,
"Oh,
yeah.
we're seeing the show here." So
That's fun.
they've just kind of, a lot of people just rediscovered it over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
So how did
I mean, it's shown a lot of places. What's that?
how did you transfer career-wise from your teaching in the UK?
Yeah, I mean, I was in academia. I was an actor to begin with, director to begin with, and I gave it up for about 16 years. When I had my kids, it became easier for me to just do a full-time teaching job than just go all over the place. And especially in UK, acting doesn't pay as much. It's not the same as here. So even if you do TV work over there, you still can't make a living. You really need like a proper full-time job. So,
Gotcha.
so I got offered this teaching job, and I stayed with it for about 16 years. And then once they got through college, my sons, and you know, they're going to college, and I thought, okay, this is I could maybe go back to it. And I thought, I hope I remember how to do it still. So, but luckily, I could still audition. I could still get the work. So I was very pleased about that. That was quite nice. Yes, I only picked it up about 10 years ago again. You know.
Yeah. What was your first role again?
When I picked it up, my first role was in an independent feature film, and it was like the second lead, so that was great. But that was because it was an independent feature, so that was great. And then after that, here it was NCIS LA, and then of course I did it the normal NCIS just a few months back as well. Here that was shown last year, so it was shown. So that was cool. Yeah.
So I have a question. I bet you get this a lot. What's been your favorite experience working on Superstore, or moment?
Oh, favorite moment experience. Good question. Good question. I think, you know what, it's there are a lot of good memorable moments, a lot of great stuff, because there's so much fun, and they improvise, they're funny people, you know, they joke around the set, and they ad lib, and so there's always a lot of laughs. But I think for me, like the most interesting experience was when we did, that was just personal, because there was a scene, and it was the scene with ice when they had to check my documents. And the reason that was an interesting moment for me was because we almost didn't shoot it. We were running late with the shoot day. It was almost 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And, the actor who was playing the ICE agent really wanted to do the scene as well, because that was his big scene. Yeah. And so they almost told us, I don't think we're going to get to the scene. And then when we got to it, like, I think we only had like one take. We did. It was just one take because we didn't have much time. And so I had to kind of pull it together and just like do that. And, the show is, you don't always get a lot of direction, but that's a good thing because they just leave you to it. You get some instruction, but that's just in terms of where you are, just for the shot. But you don't get many acting notes or anything, which can be great a lot of times. And so just had to get through it. And I was really proud of that. And that went kind of viral. That little scene went viral with the ice. Yeah. I'm showing my documents to them. So I was very pleased about something that just happened in 5 minutes, to have so much good response. So that was nice.
Yeah, it's cool when you get.
You never know.
It's cool when you get a set like that with so many talented actors that they almost don't even have to have like that much instruction at all. They just kind of go and ad lib and just make up their own stuff, and it just works.
Absolutely,
they're also talented.
Absolutely, yeah. And there are other scenes that nobody knows how much effort goes into it because it's technical effort. Like sometimes when we have to shoot in the parking lot or outdoors, outside, if it's too sunny, they have to send up this cloud. I know it's ironic, Cloud 9, but they have to send up this balloon, which, believe it or not, is almost the size of a whole supermarket.
Wow.
It's a huge balloon. Yeah. It's a flat balloon that cuts out the sun.
That's crazy. I never even thought about that.
No, you get like six people just send it up, and they're holding it. They're kind of being pulled up in the air. They're holding it while you're like doing the scene. And the scene could be like 30 seconds, But this whole thing go up just to cut the sun out, just to get the right lighting outdoors. So there's a lot of effort that goes into these things sometimes. The technical people, the props people, costume, they work pretty hard. They work pretty hard to make it happen, to make it look easy.
Yeah. So out of all of the like little roles that you did, so like you had a appearance on Grey's Anatomy, and Batman, bunch of just you were a minor character. Which of those do you think was your favorite set to work on?
Well, Batman was, because it was very early days, and I'd done a lot of theater, but I hadn't done film and TV. I think I'd done like one or two small things on like TV stuff, and it was very early days. I was in my 20s. Did Batman, and just even to get that one line in Batman was great for me, because it was just like, well, I've got a line with Michael Keaton, in this movie, and that was fun. I was very nervous about it back then because, as I said, I hadn't done much film and TV. I had no idea how it works. It was a little bit back then. They didn't used to teach you in drama schools how to deal with any of it. It was just, I had a lot of just stage training, which is so different. And it was quite fun just to be on that set, just to meet like Jack Nicholson and Kim Basinger and Michael Keaton, and to see Gotham City. I mean, it was actually quite awe-inspiring.
Where was it?
Gotham City. It was in Pinewood in London. Pinewood Studios, which is where they shoot James Bond films as well.
Oh, really?
When they shoot the James Bond, because it's a massive studio. They got big. They can build really huge sets, big sound stages. And the Pinewood set was outdoors, the Gotham City. And it cost them £60,000 a week to maintain it. It was that huge. You saw it from the front. Honestly, it just looked like a big metropolis. And then you go behind it, it's just scaffolding. But it's quite an amazing set. Quite an amazing.
So
set.
That was like your first big, like high.
That was the first big,
production.
yeah. I mean, those big films are fun to be on set because it's, as I said, it's amazing what they do with sets and everything. Like even Night at the Museum, the set was just unbelievable. The soundstage was so huge they could actually have indoor car chases in that studio.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't- you
It
don't
was
think
an
about that when
abandoned.
you
It
watch
was
the
an
movie.
abandoned. That was an abandoned Sears warehouse in Vancouver.
Oh.
A huge warehouse, a lot of height, and as I said, big enough to have a car chase in it.
Yeah, you don't really
So-
think about those things when you're just like watching a movie and there's this big like elaborate
No,
going on. But
it's like it's pretty incredible. And I know I remember when somebody told me because the cameraman was, quite amazing and not at the museum. And I said, "Oh, any idea how much his camera equipment he owns it? I mean, it's like $1 million worth of camera equipment. His own camera equipment." Yeah. So you're kind of exposed to these sort of incredible people and incredible equipment and sets and whatnot.
yeah.
That's always fun.
Do you like working on big movies or small TV shows better?
You know what? You always, as an actor, you like working on stuff that you can do well at. So if it's a small show and it's funny and you're good at it, you love it. You love doing it. And movies. I think one of the things I was really proud of is I did a half-hour TV film way back that was I did the lead in it, and it was nominated for a British Academy Award, BAFTA, and it was shown on TV all the time over there for a while it was going for BAFTA. And it was nominated. We didn't win, but it was nominated. Now, it was nice to be part of that, and that was like probably the smallest budget work I've ever done. But I was more proud of it than anything else. You know, it was very small budget, but it was good work. You know, we were in charge of it.
Yeah, what was
I
it
think
called?
what you enjoy is that was called Breath of Life.
Oh,
It's called Breath of Life. Yeah, but you know, you do some other shows that you got such a small appearance, it almost feels like you're a glorified extra. Although you got an actor's contract, and you wonder why they spend so much time on you when you've only got hardly anything. Like Grey's Anatomy, they had to do a makeup on me. They had to turn me into a Sikh psychiatrist, and with the beard that went down to, it went down this far, the beard, and it was ridiculous. It was taking so long to do the beard, and the turban. Believe it or not, they had two experts doing the turban. I thought they would just stick one on. No, they had two experts. I'm not kidding you.
Experts.
They had to practice. The practice took 2 hours to put the turban on my head. And then when on the day they had to do it, it took just like over an hour and a half, almost over an hour, just to wrap it around my head.
Yeah.
Two people.
And
I know, it's just this thin fabric, and they have to do it exactly right. And then the beard, they couldn't get the beard done in time for rehearsal, so we had to go on set for rehearsal. So they'd done half of my beard up to here, the other half I didn't have the beard. And I go up with this like half turban, half beard on set, and people had met me. And everybody's looking at me like, what the hell is going on with this guy? Like, why does he look like that? I honestly, I looked really strange.
They should
Well,
have.
you can imagine half a beard coming down here, half the face, no beard, right? And half a turban. Very strange. So we did the rehearsal. I had to go back. I had to finish it and go back. But it was such a small role. I was like, wow. I mean, the preparation for it, like to do all of that, took hours and hours and hours.
Think about Grey's Anatomy.
My appearance was like 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Or something.
Grey's Anatomy, 17 seasons. You got like 20 episodes per season, and all those episodes have like little characters that they're spending hours on. That's so much work.
They spend hours and hours. That's right. They spend a lot of money, spend a lot of time. These shows, a lot of effort goes into what you see, and at the end of the day, you really don't know, where the money's gone, but it goes because it costs stuff. I mean, sometimes certain props, they have to do a prop, and you just think, well, that's how are they going to do that? They're going to have to create it, you know,
Yeah.
and they have to pay an artist to create it. They have to pay. I won't mention which prop, but I know there was one prop, I believe, on Superstore that somebody told me cost $11,000, and you could only see it for. I think you only saw it for like 5 seconds.
That's insane. Yeah.
I know that happens sometimes. I don't think everybody's happy about that always, but that does happen. I mean, most often they try and keep very efficient, but there are times when that kind of stuff happens. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you just gotta pay 2 people to put a turban on someone for 2 hours.
Yeah, I wonder how much, like what quality.
Right. You know, and then something else is easier. This is it. It's easier. That's right. Yeah.
I had to go to
You never know. Yeah. Just bizarre things happen sometimes. Even that one line in Batman, I remember because I was outside this hall of armors and suits of armor. That's what I had to go into. And they were talking, and I had to come in on cue, but there's no way I could hear them.
I remember
outside.
that scene now. I haven't seen that movie since I was a little kid, but I remember that.
No,
scene.
I come in and say if we could open a few more cases of champagne. That's right.
Yeah.
That's me.
That was my favorite.
Like
movie
at that
when I
dinner
saw it.
party. Yeah.
That's right, dinner party. Yeah. So, but the thing was, because I couldn't hear from outside the room, it's too, there's no way you could hear from that distance. They're talking normally. So they had one guy on the ceiling, believe it or not, of that hall inside on a rope swinging in time. And he would swing above the camera. He would appear outside the entrance of the room, and he would signal me like that, and I would come in.
Yeah. And that's for one line. That's crazy.
It was the strangest thing. I mean, that just made me feel sorry. It seems like my agent and manager trying to get in touch with me. Hold on. So, it's interesting because what just came through is they send me offer again for another episode of Superstore, but I'm not well, so I can't. I'm still recovering from this procedure, so I can't really do it. So I know, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must be hard knowing that you could. But...
No, I know, but because I would have loved to have been there for at least the final season, but they've just asked me, but I don't think I can because I'm still
It's too bad.
not well. Yeah. So there it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's been really fun talking to you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, it's been fun talking to you guys. Yeah. Good luck with everything.
Yep.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.
All right. See you guys. Thank you. Take care. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Bye.